saved from dereliction by volunteers in the 70s. It's now a green link from the city centre to Ashton-under-Lyne. But just last week it became the site of a rare and exciting birdwatching moment. I'm joined now by James Walsh, also known as the Mancunian birder, to tell us a bit more. Thanks so much for coming on to chat to us, James.
No, thanks for inviting me.
So tell us a bit about what you found.
It's called a North American wood duck. Basically, another bird watcher had reported that there was a pair there, and if they're wild, it's a very rare occurrence.
So as soon as you saw it, did you know what it was?
Yeah, and I actually went to look. Someone had already reported it, and I just followed up the report to see what was happening.
And how rare is the North American wood duck?
Well, it's not officially accepted as occurring wild in this country, but because there's so many in captivity, because they're such a beautiful bird, they're very popular in zoos and things like that. So like when you're a bird watcher in this situation, you don't know whether it's flown all the way across the Atlantic or it's escaped from a zoo or a collection. So, but if they are wild, then it's very exciting.
So why do you think it was here? Did you find out?
Well, what we get is if they are wild, there's American birds do fly over the Atlantic and turn up in the UK. They actually fly all the way over the Atlantic.
How often does that happen?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously, when there's more sort of high pressure coming in off the Atlantic, and in the autumn, what a lot of birds are doing in America is migrating along the east coast of America. They're migrating from sort of Canada to South America, and they get caught up in winds, and they fly over. And obviously the ducks and geese can land on the sea. So
tell us a little bit more about the bird.
Well, as you can see, it's beautifully coloured. I think I described it the other day as it looks like it's been hand painted. It's quite all kinds of different colours. I've seen them before in America, so I'm familiar with them. And then they're a very interesting bird. They actually, as the name suggests, wood duck. They live in trees. That's the sort of the David Attenborough moment is when they breed. They have like little ducklings. And they nest like 30 metres up in a tree, and the little ones have to jump out. The female will jump out of the nest, and then they have to make landfall, and most of them do. It can either be onto water or onto the land, but it's always fairly near water. So there's a possibility that with a pair there that they might have even nested along the canal. So,
were they nearly extinct at one point?
They were, yeah. Americans, the white man went over to America and shot everything and killed everything pretty much. And wood duck was one of the things that they almost made extinct. But there's been a massive conservation effort in America, including what you can do with wood ducks is put like a nest box up in a tree, and that's what they've been doing in America. So the populations, there's a lot more of them these days, and they're quite common. So it wouldn't be unusual for them to actually come over here because the population's rising so much.
Of course. And do you think that maybe the fact that we're having milder summers, milder winters, that's going to have any effects?
Well, certainly, I think that we're getting more, certainly in the autumn, we're getting more sort of storms and more weather coming in off the Atlantic. So, yeah, I think that's probably, there's more birds coming over from America. Some people, whether they're lost, whether they're pioneers, they could be pioneers finding a new, ecological niche.
And as a birder, how exciting was this for you?
Yeah, it's always exciting seeing wood ducks. What would have made it more exciting is if it had a band on from America. Because what they do in America is they put it's called a band, we call it a ring. They'll put a ring on its leg. They catch them, put a ring on its leg, and it's for conservation purposes to see where they're moving and things like that. this is what I've said is like the holy grail of bird watching. So for a wood duck to turn up over here with an American band, so you've proven that it's come over here, would be even more exciting.
And you'll be keeping your eye out for more?
Yeah. Well, I've had a couple more reports. Someone's reported one in Fog Lane Park, someone's reported apparently on the canal at Staley Bridge, so I'm going to have a look and investigate and see what I can find. So.
Excellent. Well, best of luck, and thank you very much indeed, James, for chatting to us and showing us obviously that beautiful picture of the bird star. Thank you very much.
Thank you.